So today, I've got a gameplay of me playing in my T28. This is going to correspond kind of with my TikTok hidden gem series that I'm doing, where I just give a brief description as to what the vehicle is and why I think it's a hidden gem in World of Tanks. You know, these vehicles are often overshadowed by other premiums or something that's, a little bit more starstruck. So today, I have the T28. The T28 is probably one of my favorite vehicles to play in this game. It's a solid tank. It has an amazing gun. It's got 400 alpha damage, 248 millimeters of penetration on its standard shells. As you can see my loadout here, I've got 25 standard, 5 premium, and considering the HE nerfs, I'm probably taking too many HE now, but I love to have HE in this vehicle, as it's just good for slowly grinding down those heavy tanks who are going to be sitting in front of you. As you can see, with the way that I'm driving currently, I'm highlighting how you can use your gun to cover your weak point of the commander's hatch above your vehicle. Usually when I'm just driving to locations, I stick the gun up and to the left, and then I just hold down my right mouse button, allowing the gun to stay there in the way of anybody who's going to try to snipe my cupola's hatch from in front of me, depending on where I'm going. Now, while the T28 itself only existed as a prototype, and mostly this is just representing the transport mode of the Doom Turtle, or T95, the next vehicle in the tech line, the T28 is solid in World of Tanks. In real life, it would not be able to support its own weight. Henceforth, when you move up to the T95, you have 2 sets of tracks. It would not be able to move on its own with just the one set. It'd be digging into the ground too much and not having enough resistance over various bits of terrain. In this little bit here, I'm just sniping up against the 112, trying to see best what I can do. He's pulling out every now and then, exposing his weak point of his cupola. I'm in a far stronger position here. However, I know that this is going to be a long, drawn-out fight. And so, while I could sit here and just chip away at the 112, I think it would be more proactive for me to move from here and head towards the IS-6, my team, which I think I will do momentarily. I'm just giving it a little bit of a wait, seeing if the 112 is going to pop back up. Maybe I can shoot him in the tracks with an HE shell. I believe soon I just decide that this isn't worth it, since he's just going to be playing a very slow peaking game. Looking at the rest of my team's position, I can see that the LT-432 and Carnarvon Action 10 are making their way up into the middle. This is great for us, as it's going to soon provide a bit of height advantage, shells firing down over top. And this is no star gameplay. This isn't, me popping off and carrying the entire game. This is what I think you can, on average, expect from playing the T28. I get unlucky here. The IS-6 and the Lorraine are just happen to be looking at me. I probably should have been paying more attention to the fact that there was a Lorraine in a VK4502 sitting over there behind the ships. The Lorraine makes a little bit of a mistake in poking out against me. He's firing premium rounds just to go through my frontal armor. It's not going to be super effective. Even then, I would give him a 50-50 of penetrating the front of the T28. But this is just an average gameplay in the T28, where your team is, working a little bit towards. I would feel comfortable enough in this game to say that if my team was falling behind, I could have been more aggressive. I could have pushed a little bit more, taken a bit more time with shots, as you can see there, to really push for the win. And there's that average 400 damage alpha on the T28. You can just slide big hits into the enemy vehicles. This being an old tier 8 game, I think is very favorable for me, especially with the armor profile of the T28. However, I feel comfortable driving this vehicle in front of almost every single tier 10 tank in the game. We're going through the tracks and lower plate there of the VK. He doesn't take long enough to aim. I have a very small profile, and he's too tall to aim down on my lower plate, so his only choice is to go for the cupola. You keep this vehicle moving, and it's going to make it extremely difficult for enemies to hit any of your weak points. Again, I'm probably playing a little bit passive here for what I think, but I know the IS-6 is just going to be continue poking around this corner. It's all he's been doing the entire game. And now I'm watching the Carnarvon show up, and I believe that the IS-6 here is now going to start focusing behind him as he realizes doom is coming soon. I actually bounced off the 112 there, I believe, off his front plate, saving the VK for a little bit longer before I can finish him off. Sadly, I don't get a full damage roll there, but now I know that this 112 is just going to come for me. So I start backing up immediately. I take a hit from the IS-6. I believe that goes through my lower plate. And I'm using the fairly decent traverse speed of the T28 to make sure that I am keeping him as much to the front. And there I am covering my weak point again. This game is about to be finished, but I hope it displays kind of just an average game of the T28 and why I think this vehicle is a hidden gem in the American tech tree. I highly recommend picking this up, and it is a great game. It is a great tank for learning your way through, and it is a great tank for squatting up with a couple of friends.